Where is OpTic Gaming? That is the #1 question that we're getting after uploading the grand finals. So let's pick it up from OpTic Gaming's last series. It was against Native Red, and we're going to jump into the series where Native Red leads the series 2-1. Let's get into it.
The previous game, we saw Native Red's ability to, take up the pace of the game to a very, very fast pace, a very fast speed, and then work together as well. They just couldn't maintain that versus the solidified hold of OpTic. Question is, can they do that on Livefire Strongholds? I think they can. I think they're definitely, this is one of their comfortable game types, just due to the fact that they can rotate, they can, isolate players off a spawn. We'll find out here though. Can OpTic Gaming tie this up at 2 and play for a game 5, or will Native Red close this out in this game?
It's still so crazy to hear you say that. This could be potentially the final time that we see OpTic Gaming here in the top 6 in this tournament. And meanwhile, OpTic still have to not only win this, but then also ice up in a game 5, which we know they've done time and time again. But it's crazy seeing OpTic in this scenario, especially here in the elimination bracket. And Native Red starting off hot, double cap, 27-0 run, but it's APG with the overshield.
And to solidify what you said from Mr. Snow's stats in the back, Strongholds is Native Red's best game type, but there is a catalyst to that. Livefire is their weakest map on that game type. And we know from history that, of course, in the beginning of Season 1, when Halo Infinite first launched, Livefire is a very strong map for OpTic Gaming. It definitely hasn't been the case thus far. They've been dominant, but not as dominant as they were. We'll see if they're able to bring that dominance here to the game.
Stronghold capture.
41-12 run here by Native Red. Sniper rifle and double cap here for OpTic Gaming. It's APG that wants to push up over towards his tower side, swapping spots with Trippy so we get the most angles on the map. Looking right down the line of sight here to sandbag side. APG making sure that nobody on Native Red gets through easy. The first shot gonna go in, giving him the killing spree. The rest of OpTic Gaming making sure that nobody pushes over toward the big door side. Sniping comes in, takes down 1, needs to take down 2 more, but Native Red are overwhelming Bravo, and that will change hands.
Yeah, Native Red get 2 caps on the board. Once again, the shroud screen utilized in the hands of APG here. Trippy goes down a little bit early, so this puts APG in an interesting position. He does get that trade, but APG is going to be kind of alone here on this side on A. So instead, he opts to go towards his teammates on the C side and Nest side and get B instead. This is a good play because Manny, who's coming off a spawn, and Mr. SoulSnipe, who just spawned, are going to be spawning on this A side, and now APG can isolate them.
I love how Native Red see APG with that overshield taking B, and they want no problem. They peek at him and say, oh, that's overshield. We're out. We'll go over towards the Charlie side. We want no part of that. And with that, they're not able to take Charlie, not able to stop APG from taking Bravo as well. So that's a triple cap coming in for OpTic Gaming as they take the lead. Formal ends up going down. Native Red taking 1, but can they go after either one of the perimeter bases, Alpha or Charlie, while OpTic are still flying at them?
Yeah, OpTic look a lot more confident coming into this game number 4 here, and it's what you're used to seeing out of this squad, but Native Red still have a little bit of gas in the tank. They're continuing to hold this 2 cap. It is being contested on B, but you see the quick rotations and the quick pace of the game out of Druk here. This is what makes Native Red such a scary team to play against, is this pacing right here. He literally just went from sandbags all the way to C flat, all the way back to Nest. And he just doesn't stop, and it's really hard to keep track of. That's what makes Native Red good.
And with that, OpTic Gaming go 3 down. Native Red immediately capitalize on it and make sure that they get that triple cap. OpTic are able to come off a spawn and secure themselves Alpha, but now Native Red know exactly where the pressure's coming from. They've influenced that spawn over toward the A side. It's exactly where they wanted them. If they get another round of kills, that can be the overshield, but easier said than done. OpTic break out, and Foremost waiting for overshield already.
Yeah, but 2 are down. Make that 3 down. They put the shroud screen down. OpTic 3 dead, still get that overshield, and that's a little bit of a blunder there. Native Red weren't strong on that side of the map. Formal gets that OS, gets the shroud screen, makes sure that that OS is 100% his, and now he's trying to get A. It gets reset. He gets the beatdown. And OpTic do have numbers advantage, but unfortunately, that reset is going to cost them some resources here on this A side.
Yeah, you know, Native Red might have sacrificed the overshield, but they still end up getting a triple cap and putting OpTic 3 down. Eventually, OpTic do spawn up and get the kills, and we see a double cap back in favor of OpTic Gaming, but that's just time that Native Red have bought themselves to come off a spawn, make their presence known, you know, kind of gather up here. Now you're seeing a triple push out of Native Red. APG coming out of nowhere, taking down Manny, but still a lot of time the Native Red had bought themselves by securing that triple cap and the kills necessary as well back before overshield came up.
Love the rotation out of OpTic there. They realize A will be where the spawns are happening, so they end up going towards C. But Native Red a little bit quicker on the transition. They get an A-B hold here. It's up to Formal with the plasma pistol to find an opening. They do find one kill. Formal's not able to get the second, though. The trade will come out. There it is. OpTic so quick to get those trades in their favor, and because of that, they get a 2 cap on the board.
124 to 107 lead still for Native Red. OpTic Gaming still in that must-win scenario where they have to force a game 5 and beat Native Red in one of their best game types here. Holding on to that double cap in 20 seconds. We'll see it overshield coming up. We know Druk is up high here, not expecting the push out of Trippy. Beautiful flank as Formal was already ready for another overshield. The challenge out of Manny. Taulek now coming out of the key door side. They have to pressure OpTic. They cannot give away another free overshield here. Taulek able to take down Formal. Druk getting beautiful long range shots. APG down to 1 shot but refuses to go down. And with all of that, Trippy steals another overshield here for OpTic Gaming, 2 in a row. And that means OpTic are right back on the offense.
Yeah, I believe OpTic have had pretty much every OS here, and yeah, that OS is going to guard them this offense that they want. They're able to get C and A and continue to get time on the board, and granted, they got that overshield without a shroud screen that time, so a lot of teamwork coming through. 3 dead for Native Red. The last player alive is top center. And drop inside of vents, but look, that gives Native Red that OS spawn, which could be bad for Trippy if he stays around too long.
I feel like one of the things that make OpTic Gaming so dangerous that anybody can pop off any given time, you know, maybe APG not having the best game statistically last game, but at the end of the day, they won. Now you're seeing them dropping 13 and 6 right now, which is quite impressive. Like, when it comes to OpTic Gaming, you know, obviously Lucid is the MVP, but it's really not about the individual play. It's about how well they work as a team and how icy they are and how well their communication is. It's that teamwork that makes the dream. Or maybe the real MVPs is the entire team. You know, it's the MVPs now for OpTic Gaming because the most valuable team, if you will.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think they put a lot of stock in that too. They put a lot of stock in, you know, everyone on the team playing a role that gets them the win. And we talk about APG not being that very shiny stat player, but does so much in the game to allow his team to have these openings. Like, look at right here, right? He's putting multiple shots into the player's top center. He's taking a lot of damage, but he's able to do so much damage as well. And because of that, 3 go down for Native Red. And OpTic continue to hold a B and C cap, but that will be flipped here shortly.
OpTic Gaming may have not started off hot, but so far in the middle game, they've really taken over, and they've obviously taken over this game in the scoreboard as well. It's 187 to 124. OpTic having firm control as yet another overshield is coming up, and yet another time where Native Red are not able to get the slays necessary in order to secure the overshield. In fact, Native Red are the ones where they're going 3 down, so Lucid flies right in. He's not going to allow Native Red to steal A, at least not for free. He's going to make them pay for it. And now while that happens, you know, they hold on to the BC setup. OpTic continue to put points on the board. That overshield so powerful, and one of the largest reasons why OpTic are able to come right back in the game.
Yeah, constantly getting that overshield. And like you said, you actually said it right at the beginning of that sentence there. They time it, right? They time the slays based on when that OS is coming up. They make sure to get that numbers advantage at the perfect time. And they've gotten that OS every single time this match. 210 to 129. B being contested here by APG, but it will go in the favor of Native Red, I believe, and that will be a triple cap for Native Red here momentarily.
Might be exact what Native Red need. Like you said, the triple cap is in, and now Manny's able to get away with both weapons, the Heat Wave and the S7. Over towards the big door side he goes. As I believe there's one OpTic player that's looking to try to push up onto Bravo. It's actually APG. APG is just hiding in the corner right now, and they don't know it. He comes in out of nowhere, secures that kill, and almost able to get the double kill, but OpTic ends up going 4 down. Manny makes a play to get the triple kill. APG with that flank and just hiding and waiting for the right time, almost destroyed Native Red and ended this game.
Yeah, and that's what makes Manny's play so big, right? He gets that triple kill, and he also gets the power weapons as well. SoulSnipe has to win this 1v1, and the icy play out of APG not going to get him B. They're going to get that reset on the B, so they continue to get time on the board here, and Taulek has the sniper to work with for these spawns, but he's going to whiff one.
Double cap here for Native Red as they catch right back up, looking to take the lead that was rightfully theirs in the beginning. Druk and Manny getting back-to-back kills. Druk ends up taking down the third right as Overshoot is going up. OpTic go 4 down, and Native Red getting what seems to be their first Overshoot in this game as Native Red moving in for the triple cap and looking to take the lead. OpTic Gaming have had control and were looking so dominant in the mid-game. They took the lead and looked like they were not turning back, but Native Red are making OpTic Native dead. The green wall is crumbling right now.
That was such an incredible play by Native Red. You saw right there at the very end, Taulek trying to make sure that he trapped the spawns on the B so that they could go for that triple cap and force the spawns on OS. But unfortunately, his teammate wasn't in control of that nest side. Still, though, they get this double cap on the board, 232 and counting. Native Red looking to close out the series right here, right now.
10 more seconds needed. OpTic are the ones having to clutch up, and looks like that's exactly what they're doing. SoulSnipe and Manny with the back-to-back. That's Taulek winning that gunfight, but Formal comes in with the cleanup. So Charlie being taken away here. The Bravo Charlie setup. OpTic Gaming not out of it just yet. Native Red have to full-on reset. They need to secure these kills.
Yeah, it's a big life by Druk, though. He has to stay alive up top center here. If he's the first one to go down because he's caught out of position, it's going to be very bad for Native Red. He goes down first. SoulSnipe's trying to clean up the kills, but look at the awareness right there out of APG. The huge kill. 2 down for Native Red now. OpTic trying to go for the head here, going for that triple cap, and they're going to get it. They're going to lock it in. A triple cap on the board, 242 and counting.
It looked like it was almost possible for Native Red to sneak in and steal that game, but OpTic doing what OpTic do best, and that's icing it up. However, a player does sneak into the Charlie side. It looks like they're able to deal with the Taulek coming out of nowhere. He ends up getting Lucid down to 1 shot, and the flank comes in. They were not ready for that. Manny has to take down Lucid, which he does. Bravo ends up getting taken at the same time. OpTic have successfully defended Charlie, but they forgot about Bravo in the meantime. Trippy now has to fight for dear life, and instead the spike grenade is going to obliterate him off of the map of live fire, and they have done it. Native Red have pulled off the upset. OpTic go down.
Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause. Press play. Don't pause.